I gave my son's new live-in girlfriend a budget for her cooking, and now my family is at war. My son, 23M, graduated university in June and moved back across the country to live with us after finding a job in the area. He had been in a long-distance relationship with his girlfriend, Carmella, 21F, until October. She had initially taken a semester off from college and was living with her mom, but she decided not to return. Her mom then told her she would have to move out, leaving Carmella with nowhere to go. My son was already planning to move into his own place in January and had invited Carmella to join him, suggesting she could find a job nearby. However, she needed to move out of her mother's place sooner than anticipated, so they both asked if she could move in with us temporarily. I agreed. Neither of them is paying rent. I don't believe in charging my children to live at home, so it felt wrong to charge Carmella either. I simply asked that they clean up after themselves and be respectful of everyone, and they agreed. Carmella moved in after Halloween and she's been a joy to have around. She's still looking for a job, but most nights she's offered to cook dinner as a way to contribute. I've always told her it's not necessary, but she insists. Since she's a good cook, I tell her to go for it if she wants to. About a week after she moved in, Carmella mentioned wanting to make a specific dish, but we didn't have the ingredients. I offered her my card so she could buy groceries, and since then it became a regular arrangement. I didn't mind it initially. She often picked up my groceries as well, and it seemed like a good deal all around. However, after a couple of weeks, she started making multiple grocery trips a week and buying items I wouldn't typically budget for on a regular basis, like steak and seafood. Last Sunday, when she was heading to the store, I asked her to please get everything she needed in one trip. She said okay, and I thought that had solved the problem. Fast forward to Monday night after we finished dinner. Carmella and my son were talking while I was doing the dishes. Carmella mentioned wanting to make steak on Thursday, and my son said that sounded good. Carmella then added that she'd have to go back to the store. My son turned to me and said, "Mom, give her the card." I immediately said no. I reminded them that I had given her money for shopping on Sunday and specifically told her to get everything she needed then. I also explained that we couldn't afford steak for 6 people this week, suggesting it might be a possibility for Christmas dinner instead. I then added that if Carmella wanted to continue cooking for us, which I genuinely appreciated, I would need to put her on a budget, apologizing for not having done so sooner. Carmella looked upset and my son seemed offended. Later on, my son told me I embarrassed Carmella when she was just trying to be nice. I reiterated that I appreciated her cooking dinner, but she was doing it on my dime and I simply couldn't afford this. I pointed out that he was free to give her money to do this if he wished. My son retorted that they were only here for a few more weeks, asking if I couldn't just make my guest happy. Am I really in the wrong here? Was giving a dinner budget a fair way to set financial boundaries, or an awkward overstep that could sour a new living arrangement? Share your perspective on navigating these delicate family dynamics.